Hello, all Organo Gold representatives. My name is Sharessa Huffman, and in this three-part video series, I'm going to break down for you the 8 things that you need to do daily. We call them the 8 core commitments that you must do every single day if you really want to hit the top rank in your compensation plan, as well as the elite car program. It is absolutely critical, and actually you cannot get around, you can't be successful and not do these things. So I'm going to break them down for you. The first step in the 8 core commitments is basically becoming a product of the product. If you are promoting a product that you don't believe in and you feel like it's actually doing more harm than good, you're doing yourself and everybody else a huge disservice, because when you go to try to promote or talk about the product and get somebody on the product or get somebody to become a distributor, the energy is going to come off that you really don't believe in it. Even though you're saying the words, even though you might think you really think it's a good idea for somebody to get in, it's going to come from a place of you're just really trying to make money off of them and you're really not trying to help them. So becoming a product of the product is really the first step. It's really the most important of all, I think. All of them are equally as important, but really it's the most important you really need to understand. Because if you don't believe in your product, who else is going to believe you, right? So become a product of your product. Get on your auto shipment. Stay on your auto shipment, because guess what? If you do, your representatives will, your customers will, and then you're going to have a much more thriving business, and you're not going to be constantly having to, rebuild, right? Who wants to do that? So becoming a product of the product, it will just translate into representatives being a product of the product, customers. It will make your life so much easier, and people will actually connect with you more when you're coming from a real space. Fourth core commitment is new member coaching. So do you remember when you first came into a network marketing company, or you might have, maybe this is maybe Organo, your Organo coffee business is your first business that you've ever tried, but some people know the feeling of being left, of the feeling of having their sponsor them into the opportunity and then just not even knowing what to do, like explaining absolutely nothing. You want to do new member coaching. It's so important. Guide them. Don't hold their hand. Don't allow them to wussy out and be a weenie and like not do things for themselves. But just guide them and show them what it is that they need to do, the right steps to get started in the right direction. Give them the tools that they need to succeed. Do not leave them hanging. Super, super important. So new member coaching, implement that, have some type of strategy for when people come in to your business, they know exactly what they're going to do and they're set up for success, not failure. The fifth core commitment is getting your representatives and prospects to a weekly power call. This can be your company call, the corporate call, or this can be a call that your team does every single week that you invite people to that are already members of your team and that are new prospects. This is so important. You want to have some type of call that's kind of like that holds your team together, where people really feel like they're a part of something. You can really establish a culture on a team call. You can really get people together and really make sure that the message is being heard and that you are establishing a strong community. The sixth core commitment is to listening daily audio. Basically, you have to put some powerful knowledge, information into your brain every single day. This is actually something that you really can't skip. You can't skip any of the steps, but listening to daily audio, turning off the television, turning off the radio is so important. It's a different type of mentality when you listen to audios, to a powerful audio or training on how to become a more effective communicator, on how to be a more influential leader, on how to be a better salesperson, on how to, get your mindset right, your energy right for success. So it's super, super important that you put the right things into your mind instead of the negative things that are actually sabotaging you. Because what we don't know is a lot of the things that we listen to, music and on TV, is actually meant to sabotage you, and it clings onto you, and it just seeps in at a real deep subconscious level. So you're really pretty much operating, kind of on autopilot, doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing and that you don't really even want to be doing, but you're just doing them out of, you're just being triggered. And it's because due to the information you're putting into your mind. So get powerful audio into your mind every single day. You really, really can't do without it. If you do, you're going to notice you're not thinking like you should, and your mentality, your thinking creates your reality, and it's your point of attraction. So daily audio, super important. The 7th core commitment is to read daily. There's something magical that really happens when you have a book in your hands and you're feeling the pages, and there's just something about it. You really connect with the words that you're reading, and it really, really makes it feel more real. At least that's just my experience anyways. But it's really interesting because a lot of people, when they're first starting, and especially if they're trying to be an entrepreneur, they're getting into network marketing, most of your friends and family are not the most empowering people. Most people are around a lot of people who do not make a lot of money, who are negative thinkers, who are, pretty, cynical and kind of pessimistic people. And so if you don't have anybody around you that makes millions of dollars, or somebody that's of high wisdom and intelligence that can give you proper training, you can actually get to know and really trick your brain into thinking that you know some of the wealthiest people in the world by reading books, because your mind can actually not tell the difference whether it's reality or fake, or it's just a book you're reading. Your mind can't tell the difference. And when you get so in the zone in reading a book, it's almost like you become a part of that story. The words resonate with you a lot. Finally, the 8th commitment, one of the most important, like I said, the last but not least, going to events. Going to your own company events and inviting your team to go, there's something powerful and magical that happens. Number one, they go there and they're actually having to invest in traveling and going to grow their business and to network with other like-minded individuals and the leaders of their company. Takes a different mentality. It's a certain level of dedication and commitment to growing your business by going to events, and you really, really get to see who's serious. Number 2 is you get to rub elbows with all the top leaders of your company. You get to ask them questions. You get to mastermind. You get to potentially, get into partnerships. You can get new clients there from people that are working at the event. I mean, there's all types of crazy things that happen at these network marketing events, and you're doing yourself a huge disservice by not going, by saying, well, I don't want to pay that money by not going. You're not really committed to your business. Do you want it to grow, or do you want it to just stay kind of okay and mediocre? Going to events is super, super important. I cannot stress this enough. I have generated about $15,000 outside of one event that was at another coach's event that I was going to, my own coach's event, generated about $15,000 in sales. This was annual sales, but 3 clients gave me about $15,000, which is amazing. I mean, that's really, really cool. And I did it all in like under an hour, right? So I cannot stress enough to you the power of events. You get to mastermind with other like-minded people. The collective consciousness, when you come together with people like that, and that collective consciousness of positivity, of freedom, of moving forward, of fighting for your dreams and doing whatever it takes to get there, and being around hundreds of other people that feel the same, that is just priceless. You cannot put a price on that. So get to the events, go to every single one, and make sure you get your team there. Most importantly, that you're not the only one going. Your team needs to go. Dedicate to bring at least 3 to 5 people with you to your next quarterly company event. The next core commitment is creating content daily. Now, if you don't already know how to create content, this can look like just doing a simple video, testimonial from other customers, from people that are getting results. This can look like a blog post, an article, an email that you send out to your list. This is very, very important that you create some type of content on an every single day basis, so that you are putting yourself out there and you're creating what's called viral sustainability. You want to get as much content coming from you about your company, about what you offer, as much as possible so that people know you're in business. If people don't know you're in business, how are they going to find you? How are customers and potential distributors and business partners going to find you and know that you're the leader that they want to partner with if you're not putting content out there, if you're not putting your face and your offer out there for the world to see? How are they going to follow you? So, very important, create content daily. Video, blog post, email sending out to your list. Those are all really, really great ways to create content and should be done every single day. The third core commitment is market daily. This is actually one of the most important ones. Actually, they're all very important, so I'm going to say that for all of them. I don't really know which one is more or which one is less. But the marketing daily is super, super important because if nobody knows, if your audience does not know that you're out there, that you're in business and that you have something to offer of value, how are they going to find you? So a really great way, an effective way that I know of is Facebook marketing. And you can just run a cool Facebook ad, get a capture page, drive some traffic to it through a Facebook campaign for $5 to $10 a day. When you really start making the money that you want, up it to 20, 30, 40, even as high as $100 a day, and beyond, because you will get huge returns on your marketing efforts. I mean, especially if it's targeted, especially if you're speaking and solving a specific problem in your niche, in your industry. This is key. It's so important. So if you're not doing this, start doing it. Just start by playing around with it. Run an ad for $5 a day. It is so, so, so important. So for your Organo Gold business, you're going to want to make sure that people know you're in business, people know the benefits of your product, so that if they, so that when they go to Google search Organo Gold Coffee business, they actually know to go to you, right? How cool would that be if somebody types in Organo Gold Coffee business and your page pops up instead of somebody else's? Think about that.